Good morning, everyone. This is Hire It Done, and my name's Adam Helfman. It's June. The sun is finally out, and right now, every homeowner in town is staring at their deck, their driveway, their kitchen. Maybe they're looking out the kitchen, inside their kitchen, looking out. They're thinking the same thing. We might as well. Those are the 4 dirty words of home improvement, my friends. That's right. The 4 dirty words of home improvement. We might as well. And that, my friends, is going to help you spend smart instead of spend sideways. So stick with me. For those of you tuning in for the first time, my name's Adam Helpman, and I'm a nationally known home improvement expert. And I teach you, the homeowner, how to fix, repair, or remodel everything within the 4 quarters of your lot. Now, remember, I'm not a do-it-yourselfer. However, I am not anti-do-it-yourself. I just happen to be pro do-it-for-me. And when it's time to hire a contractor and when it's time to get it done properly, I want to arm you with the best questions, the best experienced contractors, and allow you the roadmap to have a successful home improvement. It's that simple. I don't want to cause anyone any grief. I just want you to have a good time and make remodeling fun. So it's important that you know, and we're in the heat of home improvement. We're in peak season. And by the way, it's also peak danger when I say peak season, because we have a storm chaser warning. Summer, as you all know, is the busiest season in the business, which makes it scam season as well. After the big storm, or the first big storm, and we've had some severe weather recently, and it goes through the Midwest and the East Coast, right? You people in Philadelphia, you get that crazy weather. People in Michigan, well, we just say it's Michigan. So after that big storm, if you have a severe storm, a tornado warning, high winds, hail, whatever it is because of the severe weather, the door knockers, they start to come out, okay? If somebody's on your porch saying your roof is shot and you didn't call them, it's not a contractor, my friends. That's a salesman with a clipboard. Now, I'm not anti-salespeople. I'm not anti-anything. I just want you to be protected. I don't want a guy coming to your house, knocking on your door saying, yeah, we had a big storm last couple of days. I can tell your roof is damaged. Let me take care of you and get you a new roof, have the insurance company pay for it. Are you kidding me? Here's a little bit of a roadmap, my friends. Never sign on the spot. Get it in writing, check the license, and call Hire It Done first. It's not rocket science. Here's a little statistic for everyone out there. $500+ billion a year gets spent on home improvement. A lot of it gets spent in a panic. Don't be that homeowner. Don't get that fear of missing out or the ability to be swayed because someone convinced you that your house is going to collapse or this or that. Okay? Yeah, there's times where there's an emergency. I get it. But the majority is you're going to be scared or feared into making a decision you're going to regret. So let me just make sure you understand that, okay? Don't sign when a guy knocks on your door. Please. Take a deep breath and assess the situation. You'd be surprised at how many people. And then you might get a postcard. I've seen these contractors say, oh, we recently had hail in your neighborhood. We had all your homeowners in your area got free roofs because the insurance company, we made them pay for it. Remember, this is my attitude on insurance companies. Insurance companies are a necessary evil, obviously, but they have evolved into the double D. Does anyone know what double D is for insurance companies? Deny and delay. Double D. That's what it is, okay? Now, let me change this make a little pivot here. Let's paint a picture. You budget 10 grand, okay, for a remodeling project. We're going to call this the 20% rule. In fact, I'll give a little anecdote. I have a friend who recently is going to be remodeling their bathroom, and they want to spend around 20 grand. and they're negotiating. They've called a couple contractors, and they're trying to get stuff squeezed in. They're trying to squeeze the budget. They're trying to do their best to negotiate. And by the way, it's okay. A lot of contractors will agree, and a lot of contractors will push back. Say, you know what, Mrs. Jones, this is the price. If you want the quality, what you demand, this is what I'm going to charge you. There's no less. There's nothing in here. If you want me to lower the price, I'm going to take something out. That's perfectly normal. There's also contractors who say, okay, Mrs. Jones, if you pay me cash, I'll take 10% off or whatever. But this is what we're talking about, the 20% rule. Okay. If it's if it's 10 grand for the job, write down 12. The extra 20% is your contingency for the stuff behind the wall nobody sees until they open it up. Here's a story. There's a 1948 house. The surprise behind the plaster was that there are latent defects always there in hiding, and there's always one more than you think. Contractors understand this, some unscrupulously, because there are deal makers and there are deal breakers. Okay. The contractor who up front says, listen, Mrs. Jones, we don't have x-ray vision, but I would budget a few extra dollars just in case we can't figure this plumbing out or something like that. Okay. The one who tells you up front is the honest one. The one who warns you and communicates you and says, here's what could happen. I always tell my homeowners, ask the contractor in any project, give me a few examples, Mr. Contractor, of what could add to the budget. What would cost me more money that I didn't plan on? Okay. The contractors who give you the list of things that could happen that apply to the job you're talking about, like a bathroom would be like rotted wood or mold underneath the plywood. There's items like that, right? Electrical, meaning that the wires are grounded properly. There's every segment basically has something. Ask them to give you examples. Now, if you're the kind of homeowner forgets to ask, but you have a great contractor would say, Mrs. Jones, let's talk about the job. And let's talk about, I think contractors should be proactive. And they say, let's talk about what could cost more and where extra money could go. If you have a contractor who proactively says that to you, you got to high five that guy. I know a lot of good contractors in Metro Detroit that do that. So you're good. And there's some great ones out in Philly, you know, Blissful Bass. We just had a recent interview with Jeff Kay from Blissful Bass in Philadelphia and South Jersey. What a great guy. And by the way, what a really, really buttoned up company, like legitimately buttoned up. So that's what the 20% rule is. Now, what else can I talk to you about on that rule? You know, it's one of those situations where you just, you know, again, if you're on a tight budget, it's difficult. It's never easy. So it becomes a situation that could be hard to do. But hey, home improvement is busy. You're busy. This time of year is busy. Finding a good contractor shouldn't be difficult. And I will say this, the good contractors are still busy, but there's been a little hiccup. Obviously, with what's going on in the world, oil prices and conflict everywhere, people have like said, you know what? I'm not going to do my bathroom right now. I'm not going to do my deck. I'm not going to do this now. I'm going to hold off. Let's talk about roofing, for example. The roofing companies, I know when the business is hiccuping a little bit, when all the roofing companies start calling me and they're like, yeah, how's it going? You busy? We're light a little bit. We'd like to get some more leads. We'd like to advertise with you. You know, and I respect that. I'm like, okay, no problem, friends. Let's talk about it and let's see what, you know, we can do to help each other. But homeowners right now are like, you know what? I'm not going to do that roof right now, even though contractors or homeowners are getting letters from insurance companies saying, we're not going to renew your insurance unless you get a new roof. I mean, that's happening. This is real. But what also is happening is people are looking at alternatives to roofs. What do you do? Is there a way to fix your roof or make it last longer without putting a new roof on? There is. Roof rejuvenation is what they call it. It's kind of a new industry that's being created, and it's allowing homeowners to, I'll say, kick the can down the road. Okay. And kicking the can down the road means delaying the new roof, delaying the way you get your house, again, your roof is your biggest cover of your home. So don't mess around. Don't play games with a roof. But roof rejuvenation is, keyword is, an acceptable alternative. And I'm going to tell you, friends, you should take a hard look into it. But again, it's only as good as the contractor. So do you need a roofer to put on to rejuvenate your roof, or do you need a company that rejuvenates roof who also that specializes in rejuvenating your roof, but then also can do a new roof? It's kind of like a contractor. I'm a remodeler. Can I build a home? Of course, but flip the script. Can a new home builder remodel a house? I beg to differ. I think I'd rather have the remodeler who knows how to build houses do my house as opposed to a new home builder remodel my house. I've done both a lot. So if I were you folks, if you're thinking about a roof, just visit hireitdone.com. Obviously, we have great roofers. But I would consider roof rejuvenation. And what that is it entails an inspection of a roof and a whole checklist. And I'm going to give you the checklist after this break. So keep it locked in here, my friends. My name's Adam Helfman, and this is the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. What a great Saturday morning. We're in the middle of home improvement season, as y'all know. And finding a contractor right now is easy. Is it hard? What do you do? There's a lot of questions you need to ask. There's a lot of preparation you need to make in order to do that. And so one of the reasons why Hire It Done exists is because we're here as a resource for homeowners to help you find good contractors. We're here to help you hire a contractor without getting burned. And you know what? It's not the easiest job in the world, finding a good contractor, but it's not the most difficult either. You got to ask the right questions. And just by asking the right questions doesn't mean you're going to get the perfect job either. So it's an imprecise science finding a contractor. So I just need to make sure you know that you can always visit hireitdone.com and find help from me. We have a huge resource on the website. And you know what? We love helping homeowners. I have contractors on the website. I have homeowner questions. We have a blog. We even have a way to price your project without having a contractor come to your house. We call it AI Adam. It's pretty intuitive, and it's really, really accurate. But as you know, look at the home improvement business is evolving. Everything evolves. So if you're a homeowner and you're listening, and by the way, today's shout out Saturday. We love to hear from you. We love to hear shout outs and give shout outs to all the contractors and stuff and all our good fans. Good shout out to Scott Weston, good friend of mine. And congratulations to Scott. He's climbing the success ladder in his project, or not his project, in his job that he has. He's really good at it. Of course, he has good experience from the previous job. And he's just a good guy, and I'm glad to be his friend. So if you're out there on your way up north, Mr. Weston, shout out to you and high fives over the air, and enjoy your weekend. So are you going to walk around your house today? What are you going to do to get your house in order? Your home is your biggest investment, right? It's one of those things that you have to make sure you get it done properly. We were talking about roof rejuvenation before, as opposed to a new roof. And some people are like, should I do it? Should I not do it? How do you know if it's done right or not? What is that? Snake oil? Is it a spray? Does it really work? I get a lot of calls. Adam, what do you think of this stuff? I got to be honest with you. When I first heard about it 5, 6, 7 years ago, I'm like, oh, it's another one of those. I thought it was snake oil. I really did. And then I learned a little bit about it and how it was created in a lab in a university. And they say, hey, you know what? It's out of, it's green, by the way. It's made out of soybeans. And they take the soybean oil. Remember, your shingles dry out. Okay, let me just give you how this works. Shingles dry out. When they dry out, they curl. They lose their granules, start to crack. stiffen, and are susceptible to breaking and then just rotting away. How do shingles get made? Well, it's a mat with granules and oil or petroleum. And that's what a basic shingle is. So that when the petroleum goes away, it gets dry and flaky. So when you add back a soybean oil, which is oil and petroleum all the same, it really helps. And it what we'll call rehydrates the shingle. When you rehydrate the shingle, it darkens the color a little bit, and it basically brings new life to the shingle. So let's think about this. If you have a 25 square roof, okay, the average roofer today is charging $1,000 a square for a 25 square roof. And that's with a 1-layer tear off with ice and water shield 6 feet up and vented and insulated and installed properly. $25,000 for a 25 square roof. You can get some cheaper prices and you can get some more expensive prices, but let's just use that as the example. Not everyone I know can just stroke a check for 25 G's. In fact, most people can't, and even myself included. So what do you do when the insurance company, you get that letter? Or what do you do when you know that the roof needs to be replaced and you're waiting for the shoe to drop? It's never easy, my friends. So all of a sudden you hear about this roof rejuvenation. And it's made out of soybean oil. And what they do is, it's interesting. They come to your house and it's a thorough inspection, because they're not going to rejuvenate your roof if there's bad flashing and there's a missing pipe and something's dried out. They're actually rejuvenating the entire roof. Okay. What does that mean? The entire roof? I'm talking about the ridge. I'm talking about the chimney flashings, any pipe vents, any air vents, anything coming out. They're going to make sure that it's all properly installed, properly caulked, and properly flashed. Then they're going to clean your roof. You literally can clean a roof. They're going to wash your roof. Okay. Now, power washing a roof is a science, because if you do too much pressure, guess where all those granulars are going? You're screwed, friends. So after they wash your roof properly, and it's a soft wash, right? That takes the outer layer of the schmutz and the skuts, and it gives it a fresh layer of exposed roof material. Then they spray the roof with their product. It's a soy-based product, which is oil. And what it does is when it gets on the shingle, it absorbs it. It goes into the shingle, penetrates the shingle, and hydrates the shingle. And it makes it, pliable. Now the shingle can be bent a little. Now the shingle can lay down on the roof. Because remember, when the sun beats on it and the petroleum, the soybean oil gets on there, guess what happens? When I say hydrates, it softens it up, and it makes it so that you have you have an ability for your shingles now to lay on and protect your roof again. That's pretty good, my friends. And here is really the best part about it, okay? The best part about it. A new roof, like I said in the beginning of this, is $25,000 for a 25 square roof, 1-layer tear off. That's a lot of money. Like I said, we don't have that. And if you're in the roofing business, you're I could do it for $600 a square, and I can do it for $400. I'm going to not do this and do that. And then you got these big TV roofers, and they're $2,000 a square. Don't get me started with metal roofing either. So roof rejuvenation is a lot less money. So forget about the soffits or the chimney flashings or caulking, all that, even though that's part of roof rejuvenation. The actual rejuvenation part, let's just say you have a $25,000 roof price. The rejuvenation price, my friends, is cheaper than you would believe. So on Hire It Done, we have Evernew Roofing. Good guys, Jeff and Adam. and their roofer's name is Adam as well. And they know their stuff, and they are roof rejuvenators, and of course, they also do new roofs. And you can find them on hiredone.com, and they can give you the price. But I can give you a hint or a little bit of what a 25 square roof would sell for in a rejuvenation budget. And so I don't want to misquote it, but I know the price. So I'm going to give it to you in a second. But anyways, my whole point here is the key is finding the right contractor. Are there alternatives? What about bathrooms? Remodeling a bathroom, same way. Do you want to do the panels and take the bath panels out, or take the tile out and go back with a bath enclosure? Some people are like, oh, those are bad. Well, you know what? The business started out bad, but there's some product now today that you can remodel, the wet part of your bathroom. The wet part is like the tub and the toilet, the shower and all that. And that's very inexpensive. If it's done right, it looks great. So getting alternatives to do the big project, you can do that. One of them is roof rejuvenation for roofing, like I said. So anyways, a $25,000 25 square roof rejuvenated is probably going to run you in the ballpark of around, you ready, folks? Are you ready, everyone? Around $2,500. And that'll add 6 to 8, 10 years onto your roof. That's called kicking the can down the road and doing it responsibly. So the $25,000 roof can be rejuvenated for as low as $2,500. One day job, no messes, no nails on the interior plants, just done easy peasy. How about that? So think about it. Rejuvenate your roof for $2,500, or give or take, or replace your roof for $25,000. Can I say that again? Get a new roof for $25,000, or rejuvenate for $2,500, and then it goes up. HireItDone.com has the rejuvenation company that you need. So you can check it out. And if you look at, it's pretty easy. And by the way, if you ever get a contractor quote, like a roof quote or a couple quotes, you're not sure about it, send them to me. I'll review it for free for you. And I'll say to you, hey, here's what this contractor's offering you. Here's what the contractor's missing. Here's the questions you need to ask. And I'll even go through and tell you if the contractor's any good or not. I got no problem with that. I want you to have hassle-free home improvement. Remember, I work for you, homeowners. I want you, the homeowner, to win. Okay? 855 Adam wins. Right? That's a good one. We should try and find if 855 Adam wins. Not only can I sue everybody, but I can also win in home improvement. 855 Adam wins. You know what? I'm an inventor. I come up with inventions all the time. Meanwhile, if anyone's out there, I need an assistant. I put an ad out there and it just was disastrous. If anyone wants to be an executive assistant, work for me. I'm a nut job, by the way. 20 hours a week. Call me. I totally would talk to you. Adam at hireitdone.com is my number. So did you know 80% of all home improvement dollars get spent in the first 18 months of home ownership? Here's my advice. Okay. Let me repeat what I just said to you so you all could grasp the severity of this. 80% of all home improvement dollars get spent in the first 18 months of home ownership. There's $500 billion a year spent on home improvement. 80% of that money gets spent on new homeowners in the first year and a half. But here's my advice. Don't wait. Do it, and don't do it for the next guy. Do it for yourself. When you renovate a house, there's two kinds of renovation. There's home improvement and then there's remodeling. Is there a difference? Yes. Home improvement is new windows, new siding, new roof. new gutters, new furnace, new water heater, new upgraded panel, new generator. That's home improvement. Remodeling is a new kitchen, a new bathroom, a basement remodel, an addition, a second story, a dormer. That's the difference. Now, do both for yourself. If you're thinking about upgrading, do it. Go all the way to the decision of when you're ready to start. Go right down the line. Go right to the end. It's important because you know why? You need to enjoy the house you're in. A lot of people will say it. I regretted not renovating my own bathroom sooner. The business of life is the acquisition of memories, my friends. Go make some memories in the kitchen you actually love. You know what's funny? I like to make pizza, and I'm really good at it. I make a really good pizza. You can ask anyone who's been over to my house. They'll tell you. And I didn't know I liked to cook or bake. Now all of a sudden I like to do all that. And I'm looking at my kitchen. I'm like, why do I have 1,000 knives in a drawer and then spatulas and 75 million items in the top drawer, and I don't use half of them? Why do I have 35 pots and pans when I use 2? And I look at the clutter in my kitchen, and I'm thinking to myself, oy, this is creating me anxiety. I need to thin out the herd. Is there a trade or anyone that does kitchen decluttering, kitchen organization? I know there's closet organization. There's good closet companies out there. And how about kitchen companies that just do organizing? I want to organize my kitchen. Is there someone out there? Maybe I can feature you on the show. Or maybe I got to call the girls from the Edit Detroit. Julie and Emily. Maybe you guys have heard of them. I got to have them on the show. Roberto, remind me. We're going to bring them on the radio show. But anyways, my friends, your home is your castle. It's your biggest investment. Take care of it. Okay? And take care of yourself while you do. I'm thinking of remodeling my kitchen. Can you imagine being the contractor for my kitchen? Oy. I'm going to need 40 hours of interviewing. Just one contractor. So tell me about what it's included. Then tell me what's not included. I got to follow my own advice, right? Can you imagine? I should literally film my interview with a contractor, but I don't want the contractors to know who I am. I want to have a guy from the other side of town. I'll call on a kitchen. I'll be like, yeah, I'm thinking about a kitchen. Mr. Hoffman. I'll change my name. And I'll be like, yeah, I'd like a kitchen, please. Oh, I'm not sure. Have a guy come over. I wish we could do secret cameras and do a whole spoof on it, but that wouldn't be fair. I don't want to. Here's the best part. The guiltiness part of me is I don't want to waste a contractor's time. You come over and I'm filming you and asking you questions. Can you imagine? No, but I'd like to have, there's a couple contractors I'd like there to come out to my house and quote me on some renovation that are not part of Hire It Done. Now, I will say this. I am loyal to my own contractors, of course. If I had a kitchen done, I would hire a Hire It Done contractor every day of the week. A roof, siding, gutters, everybody. It's just what I do. So here's another tip I want to give you. Before you call a single contractor this summer, get your financing lined up. Does that make sense to me? Get your financing lined up. If you're going to spend $50,000 on a roof, $25,000 on a roof, $30,000 on a bathroom, let me just say this. You should have your finances lined up. You should be able to have the money available. So what do you do first? It's easy. Get your financing done first. Now, is it equity line of credit? You're going to use credit cards. You're going to get a loan. Start the process. Because what's the point of having contractors come out to your house and get everything ready to go, and then you ready to get your contract and you're like, oh yeah, I got to get financing first. Give me a couple weeks. And then you go to financing route and it doesn't work out the way you want it. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. I don't want that. So remember that. Get your financing limit. Know your numbers first, okay? The homeowner who knows what they can spend is the homeowner who never gets taken. Let me read that again to you. The homeowner who knows what they can spend is the homeowner who never gets taken. Think about that. So if you know you can spend $12,000, shoot for 10. Shoot to get it done for 10, because then you got to have that 20% cushion like we talked about earlier. So that's important. And I want to make sure that we have you find the right contractor for that. But hey, what do I know, right? Well, let's talk about some popular projects that are for this time of year. Let's stay inside first. To be honest with everyone, bathrooms and kitchens are always popular. Always. So they're always going to be in the top contractor list, and they always give you the best return on investment. A new bathroom is great, especially if you're selling your house. But I will say this, you should also enjoy it. Don't remodel a bathroom and sell your house. Remodel a bathroom so you can use it. That's important. So interior renovations this time of year are kitchens and baths. Now, if you say like kitchens, people a lot of times like to just get new countertops in their kitchen or new appliances. That's cool. If you do new appliances, new countertops, and new hardware on the cabinets, you could literally change the whole look of your kitchen. And it makes sense. Makes really good sense. So that's one of the things you got to do. Now, painting, interior painting, big time. Everyone likes to do that. Flooring, new flooring is another way to go. So that's a good one as well. So those are good interior projects. Now, outside, we've got decks, right? Composite decks, obviously, Trex is a great one. And if it's got to be done, it's got to be installed properly. We all should know that. So decks on the outside, roofing, always good. Gutters, always good. Siding. Here's siding. Let me tell you about siding. Siding is an easy job and a hard job. Why? Because siding job is similar to roofing. They cost $25,000 for a 25 square roof, and siding's 25 square siding job is about $25,000, maybe a little more. But here's the difference. A 25 square roof gets torn off and installed in about a day. Contractor pays his crew for the day. Homeowner pays the contractor that day. Everyone wins. Siding, 25 squares of siding, my friends, takes about a week, 5 days, maybe more. So you got to pay your siding crew for 5 days. You're on the homeowner's house for 5 days. And you make your money at the end of the fifth day. What's the difference? Well, in 5 days, you can do 5 roofs, but only one siding job. So there's where the difference is. That's why siding has become not a dead trade and not it's just thin, and it's hard to find good siding crews. So you're going to pay a little more now for the right siding company. That's really the truth. So I want to make sure people know that. What else can you do, my friends? And someone just texted in. What is soybean roof rejuvenation sealant? What does it usually do? What it actually does? Well, I thought I explained it, but I'll say it really quick. It sprays a sealant, usually soybean, back into the shingles to restore the oils that baked out over time. That's the best way to say it. What does that mean, though? It lets the shingles stay flexible, but it also allows the water to shed smoother and quicker. A new roof, obviously, a new roof tear off really basically resets the clock. So that's a big deal as well. So anyways, We're going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to give you questions to ask contractors for work that you should be doing this time of year. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done on the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Summer projects. Let me give you questions that you need to ask the contractor to protect your summer project. And it's a little bit of a roadmap because, summer's the go time for home improvement and the contractors are booked up. Crews are moving fast. And that's exactly when a homeowner can get burned if they don't ask the right questions up front. So before you hand anybody a deposit this summer, write these down. Now, these are all available at hireitdone.com. But if you got a pen and paper, you got your coffee, join the conversation. I love that, and I like that you can do that. So here's a quick, easy. Then we go easy, and then we graduate. Are you licensed and insured? Now, most contractors are expecting you to ask that, and they're going to of course. And then you say to them, "Can I see it today?" Not I'll get it to you today. You want their liability insurance and their workers' comp, okay? Because if somebody gets hurt on your property and that contractor isn't covered, guess whose insurance policy gets the phone call? Yours. Please understand that. Number two, who's actually doing the work? You got to ask them that. Mr. Contractor, who's actually doing the work? Your crew or a sub? A lot of summer work gets handed off to subcontractors you've never met. That's not automatically bad, my friends. But you deserve to know who's standing on your roof and whether they're insured too. Okay, so let me break that down. Subcontractors are not bad. In fact, they're used more than the crew that's on the payroll, for sure. For you, the homeowner, though, you need to know. Is it a sub crew or not? Maybe you want to ask the next question. Well, if you have a sub, it's okay, Mr. Contractor. He's probably going to use a sub that he uses all the time, but you would like to say to him, is it okay for me to meet your sub? Can I meet him? It's within your right to ask. Here's another question. This is a big one. Timeline. Okay. What is your timeline, Mr. Contractor? And then you follow up with the next question. What happens if the timeline slips? Because there's 1,000 reasons a job can be delayed. 999 of them you've heard before. Okay. So summer's the busy season, right? Rain delays, material back orders, the crew getting pulled to another job. Get the start date and the finish date in writing and ask what happens if they blow past it. Now, I'm not a fan of penalties. If the job takes more than this amount of time, the contractor is going to get penalized. If you're that kind of homeowner, don't go to hireitdone.com. I don't want you. But if you're the kind of homeowner who says, yeah, I want a penalty, and the contractor says to you, Mr. Homeowner, okay, Mr. Homeowner, I'll give you a penalty. No problem. But if I'm finished early, you're paying me a bonus. So how you like me now? Now, to level the playing field and set a straight and a fair way to do this, there are rules that have to be set. And you can set the rules. But again, it's about the timeline. All you do as a homeowner is want to get the job done. And guess what? The contractor, same thing. The contractor wants to get the job done as well. So that's one of those situations where you got to have these conversations. Remember, this is before you even write a check. So that's important for you to know. What else is there if there's not on the timeline? What happens if they say to you, I don't give timelines, And by the way, post-COVID, timelines are difficult. I ordered a heated towel rack recently, and you won't believe it. it got lost in shipping. It took double the time. It was crazy. I couldn't even believe. And I'm thinking to myself, it says ships in 3 to 5 days. It's 4 weeks later. That's the norm. Now, if I was waiting on a contractor or a homeowner waiting on a heated towel bar, and it took an extra 4 weeks, whose fault is it? Are you really going to pay a penalty? $50 a day times 4 weeks? Oy. Come on. Common sense, friends. Common sense. And by the way, you can always ask me, Adam at hireitdone.com. You can email me if you have a question. Now, what about another question here? Mr. Contractor, can I have some references from jobs you did last summer? Not 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, but jobs that you worked on during the summer a year ago. Why is that? Well, because you want recent, you want local, and you want to actually call these people. You know, the fact that a contractor says, oh, my God, Mrs. Homer, I have so many references for you. No problem. Here's 4 of them right now. The fact that he's going to give it to you, he may in the back of his mind think, well, she's never going to call. The fact that I gave her names, she ain't calling. And a lot of homeowners are lazy. They don't call. I want you to call. But here's the best part about Hire Done. We called references on these contractors when they started here. So we've checked references. Now, I still require you to check your own and do your own due diligence. It doesn't hurt. And you'll learn something. So asking references are important. And here's the best part. At the end of the question, if you do end up calling a reference, just end the call with a thank you. Dear Mr. Homeowner, I'm glad you told me about XYZ Contractors. I'm really glad I called you because you gave me some good information and it allows me to get a better picture of who I'm dealing with. Can I ask you one more question, Mrs. Homeowner? And that's the key right there. And the homeowner's like, oh, yeah, well, thanks for calling. I'm glad you're going to use XYZ Contractors. They're really good. And then you ask the one question at the end of the call. Mrs. Homeowner, thanks for the time. My last question, would you use them again? Would you hire them again? Things like that. And then wait for the answer. If there's a hem and a haw and a pause, there might be something there. If they just said, oh, of course I would, then you know that's your guy. And then make it known to the contractor. Hey, Mrs. Contractor, or Mr. Contractor, I called Mrs. Smith and I called Mrs. Jones, but I only got a hold of Mrs. Jones. And they were very pleased with your work, just so you know. Makes the contractor feel good. And then you can even drop the bomb. And Mr. Contractor, I hope one day I'm getting called from homeowners about you, and I give the same answer. That's the way I want my job to go. Not hard, right? Don't forget, it's your home is your castle, my friends. It's your biggest investment. And the right contractor wants you to ask these questions. They want you to ask them because they're ready to answer them. The ones that say, well, I'll send them to you. I don't carry my license on me. Really? If a cop pulls you over, you have a driver's license, right? So if you're a licensed builder, how hard can it be for you to take a photo of your builder's license and have it on your phone? Are you telling me that in modern times you're not going to do that? Come on now. Be smart, my friends. Be extra smart. And look, I've been in home improvement for over 30 years, 3+ decades. And I got to be honest, every bathroom I do, and I've done thousands, I've built and or remodeled over 10,000 homes. Verifiable, by the way. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because every bathroom I do, every kitchen I do, every paint job, it's different. It's not the same cookie cutter. It's not like a Ford Mustang where coming off the line, it's just a different color. It's the same car, same location, same building. But when I'm building for my homeowners in Dearborn or Dearborn Heights or Macomb or Birmingham or Clawson or East Point or Hamtramck or Detroit, they all get the same quality for sure, but their job is specific to them. Their job is specific to their needs and wants. That's all. Home improvement should not be anxiety creating. You need to partner with your builder, your contractor. You need to have a communication line that is wide open, and you need to get along. Once you've mastered that, you become really good. I'm that guy. I'm confident that I'm one of the best in the business. And because of that, I want to share my knowledge and experience with you, the homeowner, so that you get the best. So you do find a good contractor. If you want to rejuvenate your roof, replace your bathroom, put a room addition on, make it an award-winning kitchen. You know, I just did a big kitchen remodel for a friend. Wasn't a friend, excuse me. We are friends now. And this homeowner had as an assistant, a designer, and a large budget. And I got to be honest with you, this kitchen was amazing. We did a fantastic kitchen, and I, at the end of the kitchen, we're standing in, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, "Look, when are you gonna cook your first meal in here?" And she looked at me like I was weird, strange. She goes, "I don't cook." I go, "What? You just did this award-winning, master, beautiful kitchen, and you don't cook?" Okay, no problem. Can I cook a meal in it? Can I rent your kitchen? Can we make a ghost kitchen out of it? I don't know. I want to put a pizza oven in my kitchen, not a countertop death. I'm talking about like a built-in pizza oven. I have a huge pizza oven outdoors, not one of those like uni things. I got a real one, and I love it. But I think I want to bring one indoors. When I do my new kitchen, I'm going to need help. I want someone to help me. So anyways, that's where we're at. So do that, my friends. Get the right questions to ask. Go to hireitdone.com and make sure that we all know what we're doing. So I want to thank you for tuning in today, because you know what? Today's a great day. This weekend's a great day. And Hire It Done is a great company to help homeowners. So thank you all for tuning in. My name's Adam Helfman, and I will see you all next week.